This is WMNF Tampa at 88.5 FM, WMNF.org for streaming or archive. For live worldwide viewing of this show, go to viewhouse.com or WMNF's Live Music Showcase Facebook page for a Facebook live viewing. My name is Randy Wind, and this is the WMNF Live Music Showcase. Our guest today is a musician, humanitarian, and filmmaker who has been a pioneering force in music for 3 decades. Michael Fanti and Spearhead.
1, 2, 3. I wake up in the morning at 6 o'clock. They say there may be rain, but the sun is hot. I wish I had some time just to kill today, and I wish I had a dime for every bill I got to pay. Some days you lose, you win, and the water's high, it's the times you're in. So I jump back in where I learned to swim, try to keep my head above it the best I can. That's why here I am, just waiting for this storm to pass me by. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, coming down. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, yeah, coming down, down, down. Hey, 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 yeah, 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 hey, hey, hey. 1, 2. Come on, y'all. I saw my friend Bobby, he said, what's up, man? You got a little work or 20 to lend? I opened up my hand, he said, I'm glad to see. They could take away my job, but not my friends, you see. Here I am, waiting for this storm to pass me by. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, coming down. That's the sound of sunshine coming down. Yo, yo, here we go. I wanna go where the summer never ends, with my guitar on the beach there with all my friends. The sun's so hot and the waves in motion, and everything smells like suntan lotion. The ocean and the girl's so sweet, so kick off your shoes and relax your feet. They say that miracles are never ceasing, every single soul needs a little releasing. Stereo bumping till the sun goes down, I only wanna hear that sound. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, coming down. That's the sound of sunshine coming down. Break it down now. You're the one I wanna be with when the sun goes down. You're the one I wanna be with when the sun goes down. You're the one I wanna be with when the sun goes down. You're the one I wanna be with when the sun goes. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, coming down. That's the sound of sunshine coming down, coming down, down, down. Hey, 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 yeah. When the sun goes down.
Welcome to WMNF, Michael.
Thank you very much.
First, we want to congratulate your wife, Sarah, and you for your new baby.
Yeah, we have a new baby.
How is Zach?
Taj is his name.
Taj. I forgot.
But
Taj.
Zach Brown's a friend of mine. He's awesome.
Right. I know Zach. I know Zach too. But tell me about Taj.
Taj,
just a couple weeks old, right?
Yeah, he's 6 weeks old. He's been rolling on the tour bus with us for the last couple weeks, and he's my new teacher. Like every day, I learn something new from him, and I'm kind of doing this as like a second time around because I have 2 sons who are older and both out of the house. And I think when my first 2 sons were born, I was so stressed out and so like, oh my God, what do I do? And like, I was totally confused as a dad. And this time I have some experience at it, and so I'm able to enjoy every precious second and every little smile and gurgle and
diaper. I call him Sugar Deuce because he makes the sweetest little poops. That's his nickname.
Well, I've heard that it's better when you get older. Actually,
It's
to
better,
have kids. More relaxing. So last night you were at Janus Live, and you'll be back again tonight. How was the show last night?
Last night was awesome. We were super stoked at just how many people came out. There was a little bit of rain, didn't deter anybody. And tonight it's going to be packed out there again. And we're playing a lot of new songs. And so last night we did a set, and we're going to change it up, a whole bunch tonight and play a bunch of other new songs. And we have the new record that's we've just finished, and we're excited about, that goes along with the film that you mentioned. And it's been a really great time. I think all of us would agree this summer. There's so much tension in our country right now, socially and politically, that people really want music that makes them feel, first of all, that gives voice to their pain and what's going on, but also that makes people feel optimistic about the world right now. And that's what we're all about.
Well, it's good you're in Florida, because we need you. We got our big election coming up in about 10 days.
Yeah. We the whole country does. And I voted 2 days ago. I had my absentee ballot, and I was just sitting there. My son was in my lap as I was filling it out, and I was sitting there thinking, man, this world is completely different than even 10 years ago. It feels so different, and we need to make it. We need to get. I really feel like we need to get to a point where we're not having this constant scapegoating of other people as trying to figure out what or blaming people for the problems of our country, and get to work, roll up all of our sleeves and do the hard work to make our country a productive place, a safe place for people, a welcoming place for newcomers, a welcoming place for people of all cultures, and that's really the America that I was raised in, the understanding of it, and I want it to be that way.
We've got a lot more to talk about, but first we need to hear some more music. But I want to remind people that if you're listening on the radio, you can also watch this show live, because we are live on viewhouse.com and on Facebook Live at the WMNF Live Music Facebook page. So check out this good-looking band, Michael Fanti and Spearhead, right here on WMNF, the Live Music Showcase.
All right, this is a song we just put out last week. It's called Just to Say I Love You, and it's all about finding new ways to tell the people in your life that you love them. And it's got Jay on the ukulele.
I can't tell you how I feel with flowers, 'cause they can't tell you what I'm trying to say. And I've been looking through my heart for hours, but my mind is always in the way. And I've been searching for words so perfect, trying to find a better way just to say I love you. Ooh, ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh. We've had our ups and downs for years now, and we made it through the sun and rain. I've been holding back on all these tears now, but the way I feel has never changed. And I've been searching for words so perfect, trying to find a better way just to say I love you. Ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh, just to say I love you. Ooh. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Feels so right, it can't be wrong. Your love is all I ever wanted. Been together for so long. Your love is all I ever wanted. DJ rockin' till the break of dawn. Your love is all I ever wanted. We'll go dancing all night long. Your love is all I ever wanted. I've been searching for words so perfect, perfect, trying to find a better way just to say I love you. 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 Alright, y'all. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Oh, 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 oh. Your love is all I ever wanted. Oh, 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 oh. Your love is all I ever wanted. Oh, 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 oh. Your love is all I ever wanted. Oh, 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 oh. Just to say I love you. Yeah.
So that's the new single.
That's the new single.
And how's it going so far?
It's going great. Yeah, it's starting to get played on radio, and that's always a thrill. You know, we were a band for 20 years or so before we ever had a song really get played on the radio, and so now anytime we hear our song on the radio, we're like, yes.
So
20 years of overnight success.
I'm just curious because I'm in radio, but radio still matters, or is it? Or is
Totally.
it just going out on social media, or where does a new song go?
You know, it goes to all those places. It goes to, SoundCloud, and it goes to Pandora, and it goes to all the streaming outlets, and of course, iTunes, and people still, I guess, buy CDs and records occasionally, and actually vinyl. We sell more vinyl every year. It just keeps picking up. But radio still makes a difference because people listen to it in their car, and for a lot of people, it's where they still hear new music there, and so yeah, it makes a big difference for us.
Okay, so you're calling this tour that you've been going on since the summertime the Stay Human tour, and that's also going to be the name of the new album. Is that right? And
Yeah.
Tell us about and it's the name of the documentary film.
Yeah.
Which I don't think too many people have seen yet. So can you briefly tell people what this film is about?
Well, I put out an album in 2000 called Stay Human, and so this new album is technically called Stay Human Volume 2.
And what is the relation with that previous album?
Well, the first album was really, the whole album was a narrative about the death penalty and about a fictitious death penalty case. So it's actually kind of like a radio play. And but this one doesn't really have much to do with that. But I just felt like the message of holding on to our humanity in this really challenging time that we're in right now is more important than ever. And that's what the film is about. It's about how I wake up every morning and I read the news, and I'm somebody who's prone to depression and anxiety. And I really, the news really weighs heavily on me when I hear all the things that are taking place, even just this morning with these bombs being sent in the mail and so many things. And then I travel around the world and I meet people who are ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things to make a difference in the lives of other people. And I'm reminded of what it means to hold on to our humanity, how to be a human being and how to stay that way. And so that's what the film is all about. It's a very inspiring film, and people walk out of the film feeling like they're ready to face whatever challenge comes next in your life, be it personal or social.
And is the film out? Can people get it online or see it anywhere yet?
Yeah, so it's hitting film festivals at the moment, and in November we're doing a tour of the western states with the film, where all of us are going out and we screen the film. We do a Q&A after, and then we do a sort of acoustic setup like this. And so we'll probably be doing a tour like that in the new year, early in the new year with the film. And
do you see it being in theaters or on Netflix?
So it'll be in all those places. It'll go out in theaters and in the new year, and it'll be in all the streaming outlets as well.
I want to thank the crew that we have working on this show, because it's a great crew. Bill Dudley is our audio engineer.
We love Bill.
And he's being assisted by Richard Stone. Our video crew, which is taking the video for Facebook Live and for viewhouse.com, is Bob Hoke, director, Tom Connors and Brian Panier, and Larry Lockdown. And our producer and booker for the show is Steve Arduengo. It's a great crew, and every Friday at 2 p.m.
Love you guys.
We have live music right here in our beautiful studio here at WMNF Tampa. If you're just watching on Viewhouse and you've never heard about WMNF, we've been here for 40 years, and we are listener-supported, independent, grassroots community radio. and it's a big success story right here in Florida. We want to keep it going, and we're so happy that Michael Fanti and Spearhead are playing today, and we've just had Victoria move over to the piano. So for those who are watching, you saw that, but for those who were not watching, we'll inform you that we now have a piano player.
Yeah. And she's a darn good one.
Oh, thank you.
This next song we're going to do, I first met Victoria through Instagram. I was just scrolling through the Explore feature and randomly came across her music and her voice, but mainly her message, and I was inspired enough to send her a direct message and say, Victoria, I love what you do, and I'd love to have you come out on tour with me.
That was crazy. It was a dream come true for me. I was actually a freshman in college at the time, and I was kind of just hoping that someone would invite me on tour so that I could do what I love all the time.
Yeah. So I said we should write a song together, and this is a song that is about how both of us grew up. I grew up. I'll tell more about how I grew up later, but this is a song that's about bullying, and both of us were bullied as quite a bit as kids, and it's also about gun violence. And this week the two of us went and visited at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School, and spent time there just with the children or with the students, with the faculty, and with some parents who had lost children there, and we both left there feeling both a sense of inspiration of just seeing how these kids, the resilience of the students,
united. Yeah, they're so together.
United, but also feeling like a new urgency to create music that inspires people to bring about change so that we can make our schools safer, bring about a dramatic reduction in gun violence in our country. So this is a song that we wrote together. It's called Flower in the Gun.
We can be the healing when you're feeling all alone. We could be the reason to find the strength to carry on. In a world that's so divided, we shall overcome. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. What could I say to my son or to my daughter if they came and asked me about these days? What kind of reason could I give for all the hate that's standing in the way? Wish I could tell them that nobody's gonna judge them, and every stranger on the block is gonna love them. No bully in the world could ever hurt them, but I can't say that today. No, no one could ever take your pride from you. Speak your truth and let your spirit fly, 'cause we could be the healing when you're feeling all alone. We could be the reason to find the strength to carry on. In a world so divided, we shall overcome. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun.
What could I say to every woman who was ever told by a man don't try to reach too high? What could I say to every girl who was betrayed and told to keep the pain locked inside? I wish I could say nobody's ever gonna judge me. Every stranger on the block is gonna love me. No bully in the world could ever hurt me, but I can't say that today. No, no, no one could ever take my pride from me. Speak my truth and let my spirit fly, 'cause we could be the healing when you're feeling all alone. We could be the reason to find the strength to carry on. In a world so divided, we shall overcome. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. We can be the healing. We
places around the world. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
yeah,
yeah,
whoa, whoa,
whoa,
yeah. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa,
whoa,
yeah,
yeah,
whoa, whoa,
whoa,
yeah. 'Cause we could be the healing when you're feeling all alone. We could be the reason
yeah,
to find the strength to carry on. In a world that's so divided, we shall overcome. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. In a world that's so divided, we shall overcome. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun. We can be the healing. We can be the flower in the gun.
Michael Fanti and Spearhead putting out a positive vibe that the whole world needs right now. Beautiful song, Michael. And you're about to talk about your personal history, but first, I think we should introduce the band.
Yeah, so we got on the guitar Jay Bowman. He's been playing with me for how many years? 13 years?
About 13 years now.
Carl and I are coming up on 25 years.
Actually, don't do it.
24? Okay, all right.
About 24.
24 years of playing together.
Yeah, which is
Carl
awesome.
plays bass.
Yeah.
And
So is Carl an original member of Spearhead?
yes,
Wow.
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank
And-
you. Glad to be here.
Victoria is just touring with us, and we're blessed to have her, and it's a joy to play with her, and I learn something new every time we sing together. So.
This is WMNF Tampa, WMNF.org, and this is the Live Music Showcase. Michael Fanti and Spearhead, and tell us a little bit about that personal history you're about to talk
Yeah.
about, Michael.
Well, I was brought up in a unique family. My birth mother is Irish, German, and Belgian. My birth father is African American and Nottoway Indian from the mountains of Virginia. But I was adopted by the Fanti family, who were second generation immigrants from Finland, and they had 3 kids of their own. And one Sunday, my mom went to church. She heard there was 149,000 children in America in need of permanent home through adoption. And so she went home to Mr. Fanti and said, Charlie, I know we already got 3 kids of our own, and we're living in married student housing, but I think we should adopt another one. And I can imagine the look my dad gave her. But they did. They adopted me. They got me. And that's how I came to be a Fanti. And they adopted another African-American son. I have one sister who's a lesbian, one brother who's a police officer. We grew up in this very mixed melting pot of a house. Everybody had different ideas about themselves and the world. And I'd get picked on a lot at school because I was the only one of a very few brown kids in a mostly white school. And I'd get bullied a lot. And I'd go home, and my mom would tell me, she'd say, Michael, I want you to go back to school tomorrow, and I want you to just be you. Don't try to be anybody different. Just be yourself. And she really encouraged me to just follow that voice that was inside me and not do just what the crowd was telling me to be or do. And so when I met Victoria, I said, tell me about you and how you grew up.
Well, I was super pleased that he said he was an odd kid out at school, because for those listening on the radio, I was born without part of my right arm, and that always gave kids a reason to make fun or to assume assume that I couldn't do things like play piano and other stuff like that. So we kind of bonded over that and wanted to speak to kids who are growing up who feel a little different, and that it's okay to be different.
And Victoria, did you make a conscious decision to try to do something that people said you couldn't do because
All the time.
you didn't have a full arm?
Yeah, absolutely. That was like my whole spirit growing up, was just proving people wrong. But, in proving people wrong and showing them that I could do something that they didn't expect, it actually empowered them to try new things. And that's always been what I wanted to do with my artistry.
Well, next break, let's talk about the Michael Fanti's music history. But let's have another song.
All right, let's do it. Show me your peace sign when there's no sign of peace. From the north to the south to the west to the east. From the top 1% to every man on the street, every woman rising up and every child in the Middle East. It's the little things in this great big world. And it don't matter if you're a boy or a girl. And it don't matter if you're someone in between. I know you know what I mean. I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. Show me a peace sign when there's no sign of love. You just can't sweep hate down under the rug. Too many guns, too many drugs. I got an olive branch, I need a dove. Cause I was born with every blood up in my veins. Every country you could visit, every city you could name. Everyone is different and everyone's the same. I know you know what I'm saying. I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. Show me a peace sign, everybody say hey. 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 Show me a peace sign. Show me a peace sign when there's no sign of love. You just can't sweep hate down under the rug. Too many guns, too many drugs. I got an olive branch, I need a dove. Show me your peace sign when there's no sign of peace. From the north to the south to the west to the east. From the top 1% to every man on the street, every woman rising up and every child in the Middle East. Cause it's the little things in this great big world. And it don't matter if you're a boy or a girl. And it don't matter if you're someone in between. I know you know what I mean. Cause I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution comes. I wanna be standing next to you, standing next to you, when the revolution comes, when the revolution. Here we go, y'all. Say, show me a peace sign, everybody say hey. 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 Show me a peace sign. Put your arms around me.
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 When the revolution
Yeah. Just let that sink in for a minute. We're waiting for the revolution.
Yeah.
This is 88.5 WMNF Tampa. We're on viewhouse.com worldwide if you want to check out what this band looks like. Michael Fanti and Spearhead.
Yeah.
Viewhouse is spelled Vuhaus.
I never would have got that right.
Sounds German, right? Sounds German. Viewhouse.com is a site for public radio videos, check it out. And we're live today on viewhouse.com. And you can also check us out on Facebook Live, the WMNF Live Music Showcase page. And if you're listening to WMNF, you know we are at 88.5 or WMNF.org. So lots of different places to hear or see us. Now, Michael, tell us about your musical history. We got a little story about how you were growing up and your interesting family history, but when did you start playing music and getting bands going? Somewhere in the 1980s,
Yeah,
correct?
it was 1986. I started this band, a little punk rock band called the Beatniks, and we started touring around the country in a white van, just sleeping on people's floors. And then I started a group called Disposable Heroes of Hypocrisy in 1992. We had this song called Television, the Drug of the Nation, and U2 was going out on tour, and they loved the song, and they used, they were doing the Zoo TV tour, so they used our music video of that song to start their show, and so they invited us to come on tour with them. And so I went from driving around in a little tour van to then still driving a little tour van, but following 200 tour buses and trucks and opening up for U2. And which is very eye-opening and fun. And I remember the first week we were on tour, Bono says to me, "Michael, can I have a quiet word with you?" And I was like, "Oh man, we're in trouble." And he's like, "No man, I just need to have just a quick moment with you." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "You know, our guitar player." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "His name is The Edge, not Ed." And so for the whole first week, I was like, "Yo, Ed, I like that hat. Yo, Ed, nice guitar solo. Yo, Ed, I'm feeling them shoes." And so, and so it was a time. It was a really fun time. And then one day, Bono invited us to fly in their plane because we had a long drive, and he said, "You guys never make it in this van, so let's fly together." So, I gave each of the guys in the band a gift, and I gave Bono this cross that I'd got at a flea market in Toronto. And it was an Ethiopian cross, and I gave it to him, and he says, "I know exactly what this is, the Ethiopian Orthodox cross." And the reason I know that is I spent some time living in Ethiopia after the album Joshua Tree had become so huge. We became a household name, and I was like, I just need to retreat and go do something meaningful for my soul. So I went and I was digging wells in this village in Ethiopia during the famine, and at the end of the day, the chief calls me to the big house and says, "Come in, Mr. Bono, we want to speak with you." And he felt like he was sunburned, his hands were blistered, and he was like, "I feel so good about myself." And the chief says, "Mr. Bono, we really appreciate you coming out here to dig these wells with us. But frankly, you've put us back 3 days while we watched you fumble with the shovel." And he said, "We know, even here in Ethiopia, about you too, and you're a songwriter. And in our community, a songwriter is the most valued storyteller. So what we want you to do is write songs." So he did. He wrote songs with his wife. They wrote songs about using condoms, about boiling water, and all these things, and they taught them to the children. And then Bono said to me, "Michael, never underestimate the power of a song, even a pop song. Never underestimate the power of it to invite an opening for someone in their life, to open a door for an emotion that's been trapped inside there for a long time." And so I've never forgotten that. And we've, as a band, we've continued to try to do that.
Love that story.
And so it was shortly after that, what was that, 94 that
we started
that
Spearhead.
started?
Mm-hmm.
And,
Yeah, and we've been, we were always a band that spent a lot of time on the road, and as CD sales declined because of downloading, we were always a band that was touring and just playing in front of live audiences. And so as CD sales went down, our audience grew and went up. And then in 2010 we had our first song ever in the top 10. We had the song "Say Hey I Love You," and that same week that it went onto the radio, my appendix ruptured and I came close to dying. And afterwards, I didn't care about songs on the radio or anything like that. I just wanted to be around my kids and my family, my bandmates, and people that I cared about. And it was just like a reminder that all this stuff is so, it's so impermanent, I guess, and that the way that you affect people's lives, the way that you connect with other people is really what is the most valuable thing. The feelings that you have are the only things that we take with us when we leave. So,
So, well, let me ask you, because it seemed like at that point your music changed.
Yeah.
You were more, you were darker, really.
Yeah,
More protest.
Yeah, more-
A little
I was-
more, little anger even. And then you decided or changed
Yeah.
your music to be optimistic and positive vibrations and values that uplift rather than tear down. So tell us about that, and because the result is you're much more popular being optimistic.
You know, I when I first started out, I made lots of angry, aggressive, political music, and I still feel that way. It's still part of who I am. But I've also grown as, you know, in 30 years, I've grown as a person, and I want to make music that expresses the full rainbow of my emotional, you know, color spectrum. And there's not every day when I walk on stage when I'm pissed off. Some days I just want to have fun, or some days I want to dance, or some days I want to tell a person how much I love them, or some days I want to sit with somebody and cry. And I want to write music that reflects all that. And the net result of it is that, you know, there's that people I feel are concerned socially and politically about the world because they want the same things for their family as they do for their neighbor's family. They want peace, they want safety, they want a job, they want a home, they want opportunities. And at the end of it all, they want to feel happy. And so I want to make music that talks about all those things and eventually reaches that point where we find that optimism and that joy.
Well, you speak so well and say such great things. We could listen to you all afternoon, but we do want to hear some more
Yeah, let's do
music.
it.
So can we hear another song?
Yeah, this is a song that's the title from. You want to play piano on this one, Victoria? It's the title from the film, and it's a song that I wrote for my mother when she had a stroke last November, and she's always been the rock in my life, and so it was a challenge to see her go through this. But she's really the one who taught me what it means to be my authentic self and to be a human being, and it's called "Stay Human."
I remember when I was just a boy, Mama said this world is not always a paradise. And there are things will try to take away your pride. Sometimes, you know, to show your love, you've got to fight. And hey, she said to never run away. You got to stand up tall and look him in the eye. And I will survive another day, and I will hold on to your light until the day I die. So don't you give up on me, and I won't give up on you. And do you have faith in me? 'Cause you know that I still believe in what we've got. One love, one life, throw your hands up high. 'Cause all I'm trying to do is stay human with you. All I'm trying to do is stay human with you. I remember when I became a man, along the road of understanding what it's all about. The past will not define me, and the future can't defeat me. So I will hold on to your light until the day I die. So don't you give up on me, and I won't give up on you.
I won't give up on you.
Do you have faith in me? 'Cause you know that I still believe in what we've got. One love, one life, throw your hands up high. 'Cause all I'm trying to do is stay human with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay human with you. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah. I know we'll weather the storm. Not even nuclear war could ever stop me from speaking the truth. So don't you give up on me,
Don't you give up on me.
I won't give up on you.
Oh, I won't give up on
have faith in me?
Oh, do you have faith in me?
'Cause you know that I still believe in what we've got. One love, one life, throw your hands up high. 'Cause all I'm trying to do is stay human with you. One love, one life, throw your hands up high. 'Cause all I'm trying to do is stay human. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, all I'm trying to do is stay human with you. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, all I'm trying to do is stay human with you.
Michael Fanti and Spearhead on WMNF 88.5, the live music showcase. My name is Randy Wind. Great to be with all of the listeners today at WMNF.org, at 88.5, and at viewhouse.com and Facebook Live, the live music showcase. So, Michael, this is maybe not the most important question, but I just want to know, when did you stop wearing shoes?
Stopped wearing shoes on my birthday in 2000, April 21st. I started traveling around the country, around the world, where people couldn't afford to wear shoes, and I would take off my shoes and try to play, soccer or something. And my feet were so tender, I couldn't do it. So I went home to San Francisco and was like, I'm gonna do a shoe fast for 3 days. I'm not gonna wear shoes. And my feet didn't get any tougher, and so I went for a week, and then a month, and a year, and in 10 years, we started partnering with an organization called Souls for Souls, and they were started after Hurricane Katrina. There was a shoe salesman who actually started collecting shoes for people who had lost everything in the floods there, and since that time, he's sent shoes, millions of pairs of shoes all over the world to probably 100 countries. I don't know, and now I just do it as a kind of a reminder of the connection between all of us in the world. We all walk on this one earth, and we all come from different experiences in life, but this is the one thing that we all have together. So,
You mentioned that you recently met with students at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, and what was that like?
It was really incredible just to meet. I mean, we met with one teacher, who's Mrs. Seamus, whose social studies class is about the Holocaust. And she had 2 students who were killed in the class and 4 students who were wounded. And the day that we went to visit, she actually had a Holocaust survivor coming to speak to the children. He was 90 years old. His name's Armin, and he had been in Auschwitz when he was 15 and 16 years old. And when he was finally able to, secure his freedom and go back to his home in Hungary, he had lost everyone. 2,000 people had been sent from his community, and only 50 remained. And he said he spent 6 months just crying every day for 6 months. And his message to all of us in the class that day was that the reason that he was able to become a productive, successful, and happy person eventually was that he grieved for 6 months. He cried and cried and cried and was able to let it out. And other people around him who didn't go through that process became embittered and became saddened and didn't live to find happiness again in their lives. And he said one thing that really struck me. He said, from great pain comes great energy. From great pain comes great energy. And no pain should ever be wasted. No pain should ever be wasted. That all of us should take our pain, whatever it is that we're feeling, and now is a great example of this. Those of us who are feeling pain or tension or sadness or whatever about is happening in our country, take that pain and use it for something positive. Go to the polls. Get involved in your community. Make sure that we create the change that we want to see in this country right now. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Can we hear another song?
Yeah, so this is a song. It's actually a song that is kind of about grieving. My son, my middle son is 19 now, and he has a rare form of kidney disease, and he's going to need a new kidney in the next year. And as we've been waiting for test results to come back, sometimes there's a lot of tension in our house, and my son is a beautiful kid, and he'll come up and give me an extra hug, an extra I love you, an extra kiss, and we hold each other. And so we made this rule that nobody is allowed to cry alone in our house. Nobody cries alone. you have to hold somebody's hand or put your arm around and let them know that you're there for them. So this is a song called Nobody Cries Alone.
Whenever you stumble, whenever your problems overload, whatever your worries, know that your heart don't beat alone, and I will be waiting with a hand to hold on to, 'cause in this home, nobody cries alone. So when you're feeling all alone, I'll be shining on like a starlight, waiting to guide you home. And like a candle holds a light, I will hold you through the night. I'll remain so nobody cries alone. Whenever you tremble, whenever your voice can't find the words, whatever your troubles, know that your heart don't beat alone, and I will be waiting with a hand to hold on to, 'cause in this home, nobody cries alone. So when you're feeling all alone, I'll be shining on like a starlight, waiting to guide you home. And like a candle holds a light, I will hold you through the night. I'll remain so nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. I'll remain so nobody cries alone. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. I know. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing is gonna be alright. I know. So whenever you stumble, whenever your problems overload, whatever your worries, know that your heart don't beat alone, and I will be waiting with a hand to hold on to, 'cause in this home, nobody cries alone. We say nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. I remain so nobody cries alone. Whoa, nobody cries alone. Yeah. Nobody cries alone. I remain so nobody cries alone. One more time, y'all, here we go. I say nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. I remain so nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. Nobody cries alone. I remain so nobody cries alone. I remain so nobody cries alone.
Some seriously uplifting music this afternoon. Michael Fanti in Spearhead. I was thinking that there probably are some people who have never heard WMNF before who are listening today, so I wanted to let you know a little something about WMNF before we do another song. WMNF has a mission statement that's very consistent with all the values you're hearing from Michael Fanti, and WMNF's mission is this. WMNF is a listener-supported community radio station that celebrates cultural diversity and is committed to equality, peace, and economic justice. WMNF provides broadcasts and other forums with a grassroots, local emphasis that promote creative, musical, and political vitality. We have values that advocate peace, social, and environmental justice. And WMNF has a great show coming up right after this one at 3 o'clock, and that is the Rhythm Revival And if you love classic post-World War II soul music, R&B, gospel, and country, and rock and roll, you're going to want to check out the Rhythm Revival coming up right after this amazing live music showcase with Michael Fanti and Spearhead. Michael, I hear the message that's kind of running through all your music is trying to hold on to your authenticity, your dignity, your humanity.
Yeah.
And in 2018, that just seems
It's hard.
impossible
It's hard.
almost.
It's hard. We're bombarded from the highest offices on down with
Because some people
negativity.
who've got very strong sense of self have been pulled down into the morass.
Yeah, and I really feel like that we all of us have a dark side and a light side. And sometimes that dark side becomes overwhelming for us, and I'm one of those people who's that way. But I've learned if I can change my thoughts, I can change my feelings. If I can change my thoughts, I can change my feelings. It's kind of like a muscle that you have to exercise to get good at it, so you can do it all the time, not just on a good day, but on days when you get when things are challenging for you. And sometimes the light side of us becomes just like this tiny little ember, like when you go camping, but you take a plate and you fan the ember and poof, it's like, or you just blow on it a little bit and it becomes a spark and it becomes a flame again. And we really need that. We really need to be able to do that for each other and just look other friends of ours in the eyes, people in our community, and say, you mean something to me. We need you here. We value you. Your creativity is important to us. What you have to offer really matters, and not because you're anything super special, but like Victoria says, just because you're here, we want you to be here. And so that's what my music about. And I just want to just tell people who are listening right now, if you're a regular listener to the station or not, stations like this, they don't last because of just luck. They last because of the hard work, the volunteerism, and the dollars that people send in to support. And if you think of all the people around, or all the other outlets that we have, our phone, all the news services there, or our cable, or all these other things that we subscribe to, certainly the effort that goes into making sure that the voice of the community is heard is worth spending your money on. And so just encourage people to please donate, put your money where your mouth is, because it will go away if we don't. And so
Great statement.
Yeah.
Can we get another song in before?
Let's do it. Yeah, you might know this one.
Take this one out.
It goes like this. I say, hey, I'll be gone today, but I'll be back coming around the way. Seem like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. But I know one thing, that I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Here we go, Carl. Come on now. I say, hey, I'll be gone today. I'll be back coming around the way. Seem like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I know one thing, that I love you, baby girl. I love you. I love you. I love you. I've been a lot of places all around the way. I've seen a lot of joy and I've seen a lot of pain, but I don't want to write a love song for the world. I just want to write a song about a boy and a girl. Junkies on the corner always calling my name, and the kids on the corner playing ghetto games. When I saw you getting down, girl, I hope it was you. When I look into your eyes, I knew it was true. I say, hey, I'll be gone today. I'll be back coming around the way. Seem like everywhere I go, the more I see, the less I know. I know one thing, that I love you, baby girl. I love you. I love you. To the bridge, y'all. Here we go now. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. Hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. Hey papa, kick off your shoes. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. Hey mama, close to you. Rocking in the dance hall, moving with you. Hey mama, 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 hey mama.
My mama told me don't lose you, 'cause the best luck I had was you. But I know one thing, that I love you.
1, 2, 3, come on. I say,
Hey, I'll be gone today,
but
I'll be back coming around the way.
Seem like everywhere I go,
The more I see, the less I know.
But I know one thing,
one
that I
thing,
love you.
baby girl.
I love you. I love you.
I
Jay Boogie,
love
bless us with some of that guitar. Come on, man. I love you. It's true, I love you. I love you. We'll see you tonight at Janice Live from 88.5 WMNF Community Conscious Radio. We love ya.